Ladies and G strings, yeah, it's another restringing tonight, so today, and what we're going to do is, I think this almost completes the set, we're going to do a Floyd Rose restring, and there is a particular method that I like to adopt for these, so let's have a look at that. So if you are happy with the way your vibrato system is sitting, nice and flat to the guitar, which is what you want, and your string height's okay, and that you've had your fret rocker out and that you've made sure that there's no fretwork required and that it plays okay, and all it wants is, because that's all been done before, and all it wants is new strings, then what I advise doing is doing them one at a time. This way you'll keep the tension on your Floyd Rose unit and you will not be tearing your hair out trying to get the thing set up. So my mechanic, car mechanic, who is a genius, he was asked to set up a Floyd Rose for one of his pals, and he said that it absolutely drove him to distraction. So let's see what we can get on with. Yeah, the first thing I want to show you is today's string of choice will be the DR Dragon Skin, and it says, as you may be able to see on here, can we say this? So I shall read it out anyway. It says that, oh yes, here we go. This envelope helps to eliminate corrosion, and you get the strings in pairs. So with this pack you get the first and the fourth, so the top E and the D, and the first thing that I spot on it is yeah, an area of corrosion. So I'll give it a buff up, it'll be alright. I can't use that. So what I've decided to do is put a set of 9042s inside the box, and we'll use those, but shh, don't tell Jake. Right. So as per usual, we are going to actually take the tension off the string. So we've removed the locking nuts, which looks like one of these. I'll be taking all of these off, obviously, so you want those out the way, because it will make life easier. And we're definitely going to detension the string. Doesn't matter whether you use your fingers or a machine or one of those things from Planet Waves. Ooh, these strings, my word, they've been on there some time. And these are quite nice tuners, I like them. I've not had a look to see if they're brand new or not, but they are that Fender style where they, the vintage style, where they poke down the centre and you wrap them around the capstan. This one works particularly well. Yeah, I did the top E already, just to remind myself exactly what it is we're doing with these fellas. The other thing that you might want to have a look at, which I've just sorted out, is the, what are we on? Oh, there you go. So I had a look at the little wheels on the Floyd Rose, and the bottom E one was sticking, so I've put some penetrating fluid on that. We've got that freed up, and I've given the threads a little bit of a buff up, and that seems to be working okay. It's not quite as smooth as the others, but in time it'll work itself out, I assume. Right, so we are going to pop a string on, and I'll show you what I do with that, if I possibly can. Alright, there you are. So, B string required. Where's that go? I've already got it out. There it is. Right, is that it? Yes, it is. So what I do with these is, so we have removed the string from the tuning peg, and now we're going to release it from the Floyd Rose. Should I have you around this side? I think I will. Hang on. So now we're going to release it from the Floyd Rose system. You should, theoretically, on the back of the guitar, there should be a little, you see those two screws? There should be a keeper there with a little block in it that holds the two Allen keys that you need to do, you know, perform functions like this. That's missing. So, you know, if you do need Allen keys, they're available from the supermarket or the pound shop, or, you know, anywhere like that. So we're unscrewing this mechanism at the back, this little this bolt here, and the bolt keeps the tension on this, the graphite block that holds the string in place. And even though they look like probably not a brilliant idea, they work remarkably well. There is, in fact, I'm pretty sure for these, there is an upgrade that you can get, or a conversion that you can get, where you can take this bolt, you can take this right the way out and replace it for one, where you can put the string right the way through, and then it feeds up through the top of the saddle here. And quite frankly, for my money, that is most likely a better idea, but hey ho, the graphic plots work absolutely fine. And so what I do with my new string now into the Floyd Rose system is I poke it down where the graphite block meets the flat metal on the saddle, and then I'm just going to tighten it up with my Allen key thingy. So that is that. You know, don't go mad. It's only a small thing, and so you'll note that I've now still got the ball end on the end of the string. It's just the way I've always done it. So let's have a look at the other end and see what we do. So this is where you've got to be a little bit confident, and so the string would finish here, and I like to go past the space of two tuning pegs, a couple of inches, isn't it? So obviously I've only got one tuning peg to measure there, so it's going to be roughly about there. So like I say, from where you want to crop it, which is here where I'm pinching it with my thumb and forefinger, and I want to go roughly 2 frets to crop it off. Yes, very confident, chopping a bit off before you know definitely how long you want it to be. And then of course these were, I reckon, you know, I've just had a look at the tunes at the back, they're unmarked, but they do look like Wilkinson vintage. Nothing wrong with those. They might not be, I'm just saying that's what they look like. Let's check on it. You know, usually, as you know, I do work on tuners that have 3 on a side, and it really is quite nice to do 6 on a side from time to time, because it just means that you don't have to go over there. It's nice. So right, so that's the method for putting a string on, and really it is just rinse and repeat. So briefly, we're going to detension, always detension, as discussed in other videos, because although the guitar wood probably doesn't care less, you do run the risk of knackering the gears inside your tuning machine head. When they get that sudden shock and the metal will jar together, it's going to hate you for it, and very likely make you pay for it. We don't want that. So out with, can we, let me see, yeah, okay, so out with the old and in with the new. Yeah, like I say, check that everything works first. So like I say, I checked that these wheels, that the top 5 are all fine. The bottom one, that in fact has the most wear on it, was as stiff as anything. So I put some lubricating fluid on there to get it out, and whistle up the thread. And also while I was there, I put a bit of lubricating fluid on the two knife edges here where the vibrato system is going to move. We all call it tremolo, you see, don't we? We all call it tremolo. And the reason that we call it tremolo is because of Leo Fender. Because he incorrectly called it a tremolo unit when it isn't tremolo. It is, in fact, the correct name will be vibrato. And if you're unsure about why, please feel free to have a look in your Rudiments and Theory book. So, poke it down there and tighten up the graphite block. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. And then we're going to go, this is easy because I've got the space of 2. I'm going to, so that's where it's going to finish, and I want to run 2 spaces in to give me enough winds. Clipper. So Walter Raleigh circumcised the earth with a big clipper. That's what they taught us in school, I think. And get that on. I've not done my research on this yet. What I can tell you is it's not new, and it's got Jackson branded pickup and the Seymour Duncan in the back because Jake likes Seymour Duncan pickups, regardless of whether what he's using is any good or not, it seems. So there you go. Right, I will rinse and repeat, and I'll come back to you when we're all strung up. So, hello. So, in conclusion, yes. So, if you want to make your life easier when changing the strings on a guitar that is equipped with a Floyd Rose or similar system, my best advice is to change the strings one at a time. And even then, when you've restrung it and you've got it all up to tension, you will find that you've got to, certainly initially, tune it a good half a dozen times, maybe 10 or a dozen. So there is that to bear in mind, because you're always going to, every time you tighten it up, it alters the dynamic of the springs and what have you. The other thing is this, is that, as you know, I always bang on about the most likely cause of one's guitar going out of tune is that you've not bent the strings in, so they do take some stretching and settling in. And for that reason, when I've done a Floyd Rose, I do not put the locking nuts back on until I've really given it a good bit of what for, and then I can use the regular tuners at the headstock rather than the fine tuners at the bottom, because you will soon run out of turnage with those, and so that is that. Generally speaking, I'll set the fine tuning wheels to roughly halfway, and then of course that gives you, I know it sounds a bit obvious, but anyway, it gives you some leeway in either direction. And I'm not happy about the only string that's original to that God knows how old set of DR strings. And it's not the string's fault, it's just that if they've been lying around, especially in a damp area for any length of time, then they're not going to be at their best. So I suppose another thought is, only buy strings as you need them. Okay, so we have got the bridge pickup on, and I do like a bendy bar. Right, I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon, folks. Adios, amigos. Ta-ra.